Hello, massage nerds. Today I'm going to be doing the hand massage techniques. So after the holidays and all the crafting I was doing, you know, the crocheting we did, and my daughter was doing a lot of crafting too, and her wrist and hands were hurting. I said, hey, it's time to do a video of hand massage techniques. So that's what I'll be showing you today. And one of the things I want to show you is that if you do use lotion, I use this little spoons just to scoop out what I need now so that I don't cross-contaminate anything. And this is what I will be using on her. And whatever I don't use, I discard it and then I wash, obviously, the spoon. But these are the spoons that I also use for the wash-out technique. So they've come in handy. So just giving you an idea. So you want to go ahead and just get a little bit of lotion, you know, to spread it first. And you want to warm it up. You want to do some hand over hand, you know, petrissage. And I always feel that it's nice to do a little bit of effleurage all the way up to the elbow. You know, it's always good to get the flexors and extensors. So I want to go ahead and do a little bit on her forearms, especially after you've been crocheting and knitting or doing crafting or playing video games on the computer. So all of that just really takes its toll on your hands. You can do some hand over hand effleurage on the extensors. Remember, where there's hair, these are extensors. Where there's no hair, those are the flexors. So the flexors are the anterior part of your arm, and the extensors are on the posterior part of the arm. And you can do some thumb techniques here too, just like a little bit of petrissage with your thumbs. And I do want to focus more on the hands, so I won't go into too much detail on the forearm. But once you've got get to the hand, you want to make sure and get the wrist, especially with people that have been playing games or just on the computer. You know, you want to make sure and get the extensor retinaculum, which is on the posterior part of the hand. And then on the anterior, you've got your transverse ligament right here where the carpal tunnel is. You've got the, remember, carpals are the ones that you drive the car with. So the carpals are, you know, right here, okay? This right here is your ulnar bone. This little bone you see here, this is the ulnar bone. This is the radial bone. So you want to make sure and do even some spreading of the palm. The palmar aponeurosis, you want to make sure and just spread the palm. That's all I'm doing is with my thumbs. I'm spreading the palm of her hand. I go to the wrist area. You know, for those of you that are not aware, is that the carpal bones, you know, they come down all the way to about right here into the wrist. So now you want to do some hand over hand petrissage and effleurage. You always want to hold at the wrist, you know, give it some support. Now let's do some joint stretching. You interlace your hands, and then you can do some circular motions, 3 or 4 turns, the opposite side. You want to do some shaking of the fingers. And squeeze them a little bit at the top. So anytime you're going to do a stretch, make sure that you don't just stretch the fingers back. This is a no-no. You want to stretch the whole palm, so you put your palm against theirs and just stretch it a little bit. Not too much. Don't ever force anything. You always want to support the wrist, but you can do some stretching. Support the whole palm and stretch back. So you turn the palm side up. Make sure that you've got your carpals right here. We have 8 carpals. And then the carpal tunnel goes right through here, through the middle. The median nerve is what goes through here, in between. So you want to make sure and spread it out a little bit. You know, just really massage this area where the carpals are. The carpals come up to about right here, metacarpals, and then phalanges. So you want to make sure and stretch out this area here. You can do cross fiber, thumb over thumb. Try to make sure, make it smooth transitions. I always go back to my hand over hand, you know, so make sure you include all the fingers, the palm, the forearm, and the wrist. So you want to do some in between the metacarpals here. Separating each one individually. Massaging right here. The pollicis adductor. This is a very important muscle that gets really hard, and especially like musicians or people that are gaming or playing games all the time, or computer work. So you want to make sure and get in between here. This is the Hegu point. Also, you can go in between each one, each metacarpal. You always want to support the wrist if you have their arm lifted. And again, you can do some transitional effleurage. You can also go to the palmar side and spread the palmar aponeurosis. You know, this is where you really want to spread it with your thumbs. Just spread it out. And do some circular motions also. And go to the wrist right here. And remember that this is the radial side and the pinky is the ulnar side. So you can do both hands, both of your thumbs at the same time, or you can do one at a time and just go all the way back. Now I'm going to do each individual finger. And one of the things I like to do is just grab the finger in between my joints, go all the way around, and then just kind of snap up. And the snapping sound is from my fingers. I know a lot of people think I'm hurting the person, but I'm not. I'm just really going in between each little, you know, all the phalanges. Remember, this is the proximal phalanges because they're closer to the hand, and these are the distal, proximal, medial, distal phalange. And all I'm doing is just really massaging and then pulling up. And the sound is from my fingers snapping, not her hand or not her fingers. Nothing on her is hurting. And again, this is my transitional, you know, kneading. Another thing that I like to do is I take my hands in the knuckles, and then I go in circular, nice, slow circular motion all the way around the palmar side. Supporting, always supporting at the wrist. Again, you want to go back and do the wrist over again. Massage the transverse ligament. This is the anterior side. You can do cross friction. And the posterior, the extensor retinaculum, right here on the posterior part. You can go back to the pollicis adductor, pollicis longus brevis, and the opponents. Remember, the thumb is the one that we're able to do opposition. And that's exactly what separates us from monkeys, because we can build tools because we're able to do opposition. So make sure you work each muscle in the hand as much as you can. Again, I always go back to my transitional, petrissage. And you can go back and just work the flexors and extensors some more. But this is more about the hand today. So I wanted to treat her hands to some nice relaxation. And you interlace and go back up. That little bit of vibration feels really good. And you can also do, again, some more circles to be able to stretch the wrist. Now they're nice and loose, and I can actually feel the difference. Her muscles really loosened up, so that feels a little bit looser. And as a treat, I thought I would show you guys. I made some scrubs for Christmas, and I showed you guys on my Instagram account how to make that scrub. So I wanted to scrub her hands and show you. Remember, always end with a nerve ending strokes, because it really lets the brain know that you're done, and it makes the it helps the client relax. So I'm gonna grab the scrub real fast, and let me show you how I do it. So here I got my scrub. Again, I'm using the wash-off spoons. I just got a little bit of scrub. It's nothing more than coconut oil with sugar. I'm going to spread the towel in case that I make a mess, but I rub it in my hand, and then I'm going to rub it all over her hand. You can go up her forearm, each finger at a time. Tickles. That tickles. You don't want to do it for too long, but it's going to leave her hands really soft. Now I'm going to go grab the towel to be able to take off the scrub with. So let me get that. And this is warm water, so you can have some warm water with a towel and just clean her off. Go in between each finger, because there is the little bit of that sugar left in between her fingers. The palm of her hand. Her hands are nice and red, really got that circulation going. So that will be a hand scrub. And it's always good to keep a towel down here because, it can get messy. So that is your hand massage techniques, including the scrub. So if you want to omit the scrub, that's fine. If you want to just do the scrub, that's fine too, and do a little massage with a scrub. Or if you just want to do the hand techniques, that's fine. But, their hands really feel smooth and soft afterwards, and they will thank you for it, especially during times when they've been overusing their hands and their wrists that are hurting. This is a really good hand massage. So until the next time, create a great day.